Welcome to the Elements of Spirit for the week of 9/17/17, September 17th, 2017. This is the reading for the element of fire, which includes the sun signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If you have not seen these videos before, or if you haven't watched the ether video, that's how it works. Go back and watch the ether video now, grab that affirmation, come back and check out this fire video. When you put those two together, you get the elements of spirit. The affirmation for the ether video was, the pressure I feel can be relieved by consciously balanced action. When you put it together with the fire reading, ooh, let's see what happens. Ooh, it's very strong. It's funny, we're going back to vision, which is sight, which is what the air reading was all about, but let's see what this does. I see some old shit. I don't like it, but it's my fuel. If I can swallow the truth of who I was, it will, be it will make the fire which propels me. So much forward motion this week. Goodness, feels great. So the idea here is that it feels like there's really old past processing stuff. I have Sagittarius moon, so I'm connecting to this also. We're talking like, 2, 3, 4 years old behaviors. Childhood behaviors. And when I closed my eyes and called in the fire, what it showed was this sort of like not a mushroom, like a backdraft, like when the door opens in backdraft and whoosh, that whole like, it's like a big, propulsion of fire comes out. That's what they're showing you. And so it's not a wake-up call. It's not like a charge. It's not like an aha moment. It really is more of like a revelation is what it feels like. Revelation. There is a purification of vision as opposed to the air, which was all about sort of clearing it out. This is actually saying you're just going to see what's there anew. See what's there anew. Anew, and going back to the ether reading, there's all of these opportunities for choices, and changes. That's connected to the solar plexus, which is using the fuel of whatever you're remembering, whatever's being revealed to you from yourself about yourself in the past, especially as a kid. Especially as a really little kid. And we're talking about like behaviors, tendencies, learned ideas, which maybe you've carried forward, all of these years up until now, which maybe have laid dormant in you for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. There are opportunities to face and integrate it's not even really your shadow self. It's more so... No, it's totally shadow material. It's more so it's about accepting the consequences of trauma. Accepting the shaping and molding influences of pain. Right? Pain. I seize up, I get tense, but oddly, if I can learn to relax my arms, then the seizing up of the core, which occurred there, isn't necessarily a terrible action. But if I stay like, I can't do anything, and I can't process anything. So the idea is that like, you will be getting really big, deep internal revelations about stuff that made you seize up a very long time ago. And if you run away from it, if you walk away from it, ain't shit gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. If I can swallow the truth of who I was, it will make the fire which propels me. If I can accept the trauma, accept the consequences of that trauma. What did it make me do? I need to trim my beard because this is like one little tiny mustache keeps tickling me and is making me nuts. Accepting the consequences of the trauma as the forces which could have become rigid, maybe even did become rigid, but can be chosen to become your structures and supports as opposed to your confinements and your rigidities, right? Turning your defenses into supports which support your acting out, your reaching out, your branching out, your moving forward. And because the idea is that this revelation might cause you to seize up anew. But really, that seizing is just a reminder of those early traumas, or even trust. Like, usually if a trauma has happened that early, there's going to be multiple traumas which are resonant with that early trauma that will probably also be triggered here. So the idea is this revelation could cause you to go against the ether reading. This revelation, this pressure, can be relieved by consciously balanced action. So that goes back to the ether reading. So if you do nothing, nothing's going to change. But if you can accept this revelation as not something which is propelling you into the past, as something which is occurring to you in the future to remind you of whatever happened to you in the past, so that you can focus and do that work to turn this I consider the agitation, pressure, consider the source in me, change myself first, do something differently, then act out in a different direction. If you can use this seizing up, whatever this revelation is, to do that extra little bit of work about where this agitation is coming from, what wants to be done with it, what the most balanced actions are that can be taken from it or using it, then you use these revelations as fuel as opposed to reasons, even excuses, to add on to the rigidity of your vessel and vehicle, okay? So beautiful. I embrace the revelations of the traumas which defined me. My scars are seen anew as my structural supports. I see my scars. Yep, I see my scars anew as my structures, as my structural supports. So the scars aren't the structures. The scars are proof that you have been wounded and healed. A dear friend of mine has a big old injury, in his leg, a huge muscle tear. And whether he likes it or not now, Spirit's like, take care of your damn self. Take care of your body. Take care of your body. Take care of your body. Right now it's a trauma, but when it's healed, and he will heal, he has big, big, beautiful magic. When it's healed, and it will heal, in a perfect world, the scar tissue that is built up and massaged out will be balanced out with even greater structural integrity on the other side of his body if he works this well, diligently, in a Virgoan way, right? My scar, I have an injury in my hip too, which, you know, I didn't address early on, and it still screws with me. But the moment I feel the pain in that hip, the moment I feel it, I know I'm out of alignment. I know my body is not in integrity, and I have to go back to it. So this is about integrating that scar tissue, digesting it until it becomes a structural support. And that prevents you from seizing up and not moving in a new direction, prevents you from seizing up and taking no actions when, as we've been told, the pressure that you feel right now can be relieved by consciously balanced action. So this helps you to get into that. I embrace the revelations of the traumas which defined me. I see you. You don't have to love it. You don't have to accept it. You know, accepting would help, but embracing is even better because I love it. I see you and I welcome you. So that's really it. There is love in it. It's I see, it's not just I see you. I see you and I welcome you. I embrace you. I embrace the revelations of the traumas which define me, that are coming to me, or whenever it comes. Use this. I see my scars anew as my structural supports. I see my scars anew as my structural supports. These wounds will make me a better healer because I will have gone through a healing process. And if you don't know now you know. I believe everyone is a healer. We all just have different gifts and different ways of using it. And discovering your gift, discovering the gift that you're here to give to the world, is, to me, the secret of discovering what makes you truly delicious, what actually makes you who you are, why you're here, what you're doing here. Okay, I embrace the revelations of the traumas which define me. I see my scars anew as my structural supports. Aren't you the best? I love you guys. See you next week.